Hey guys, Brad from RotoHeat.com, kicking off our 2020 player profile breakdowns. In this video, we're going to be talking about DeAndre Swift, running back from the University of Georgia. With that being said, make sure you hit the subscribe and the notification bell so you can be alerted every time the RotoHeat.com team puts out any new rookie content. As we get further and further into the offseason, we're going to be pumping out more and more rookie content, getting you ready for your fantasy drafts coming up here in the spring and in the summer to come. For DeAndre Swift, the athletic ability is one of the things that we as the RotoHeat team thought is his brightest spot, giving it an 8.5 out of 10. Rick said that the athletic profile is very intriguing. Swift can run and has the moves that makes defenders miss. I also thought that he had a really nice breakaway speed, and that really bodes well moving to the next level. Taylor thinks that he gets north-south very quickly, has a good juke move, and great short area agility, which helps him get to top speed quickly. That makes for a very good profile for an athletic running back like DeAndre Swift. And at the next level, that will provide a lot of value to the team that drafts him. Toughness is the next area that we want to talk about. Toughness is that ability to go between the tackles and really get that extra yards and fight for those extra yards and you know, in things like pass protection as well, because we're seeing in the NFL nowadays, to be a three-down back, you have to be able to pass protect and pass protect well. DeAndre Swift, this is a concern. On a scale of 1 to 10, the team rated him a 7.1. Probably by far one of his lowest ratings across the different areas that we looked at for him. You know, we saw oftentimes that he would fall down after initial contact, and he wasn't really hard to take down. That's a concern. Running between the tackles and going down quickly, that's not going to bode well for him when he goes on to the NFL. That is an area that can be fixed, but it is something to be concerned about. Vision is the next area we want to talk about with DeAndre Swift. Vision is the ability to see the entire field. You know, Ryan puts it this way: his football IQ and vision stand out as he is able to read and react to the defense to maximize yardage on every play. That's big in the NFL. You see plenty of times guys, like we're going to compare him to an Alvin Kamara, where they make something out of nothing because they're able to see the entire field and they play very quickly. The mental side of it is very quick for them. Moving to the next level, I think that will really help DeAndre Swift maximize his value on your fantasy roster. Next, we want to talk about DeAndre Swift's hands. In the NFL, being a receiving back is huge, and for your fantasy team, being a receiving back is even more immensely important. Think of a guy like Austin Eckler. He is a decent running back and is getting good yardage this year in the NFL, but his receiving game is off the charts. He is very good out of the backfield catching the ball. DeAndre Swift is in that same mold where he did very well receiving out of the backfield. You know, we said at the beginning of the episode that he had 73 receptions for 666 yards and 5 touchdowns in his college career. You know, he was averaging at least 9 yards per catch out of the backfield. He didn't get targeted a ton, obviously, you know, his first year in 2017, but moving forward, you know, he had 32 catches in year 2 and then 24 this last year at Georgia. That's a really big deal. That's a lot of points to your fantasy roster. You know, we did see, there were a few times where we saw some drops that probably shouldn't have happened his way. That were a little bit unexpected, but we do expect him to be solid overall receiving back in the NFL, especially early in his career. That'll be a great way to get him on the field and quickly. So that's a bright spot. For an overall grade perspective, we graded him a 7.9. So this would have been his third highest graded ability that we saw as we were watching film. And the fifth attribute we want to cover with DeAndre Swift is yak, his yards after contact. This was his lowest graded ability in our opinions at a 7.0 out of 10. It goes back to what we said a little bit earlier, where we were seeing he would go down on contact, the initial contact, go down easily, and that's concerning. Moving to the next level, we don't need another Rojo on our hands. That being said, we don't expect it to be to that level, because there was still his ability to see the field is so much better than where somebody like Rojo was coming out of USC. So we're not necessarily as concerned with his overall profile in that aspect, but the yak is going to be a big deal, and we are a little bit concerned there. So that's something to be noted of while you're moving through your process of evaluating this rookie. In conclusion, DeAndre Swift is going to be one of the top backs taken, most likely in your fantasy drafts as well as in the NFL draft. He's got a really positive athletic profile. He can do a lot of amazing things with the football in his hands, and he's good at making defenders miss. Joseph puts it great. He says Swift is an electric open field player with the ability to make guys miss. He sees his future being somewhere between a Nick Chubb and a Sony Michel, and that's high praise. Nick Chubb is, as we've seen in 2019, really done well. Sony Michel's not as great, but he's still a very good running back as well. Ryan expects him to ultimately be one of the top running backs with RB1 potential from a very early time in his career. I expect him to be probably one of the top 2 or 3 backs taken in the draft. I think if he goes to the right situation, which obviously situation is always key. If you see him go somewhere like a Houston or a Miami or somewhere that needs a running back with his type of skill set, that has good hands out of the backfield, or as well as good vision in that sense to make up for maybe some deficiencies along the offensive line, this could be a situation that really bodes well for a player like Swift. And when it comes to your fantasy drafts, that just means that he's a top 5 type pick. So we're excited about him. Good luck, and don't forget to check out RotoHeat.com for more rookie content.
Don't forget, make sure you hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss any more fantasy football content from the RotoHeat.com team. Also, right there, playlist. Hit it. Watch the videos. Do it. You want to. Do it.